Chapter 91 Newbie Class. You are listening at novelfull.audio. After taking the Spirit Sword Master and GE Magic Dice to relax for a few hours. Everyone has played enough. Next, we have to do some serious work and enter the state of cultivation. Luo Yang said seriously. Hearing Luo Yang's words, the Spirit Sword Master and GE Magic Dice nodded. Coming to the new environment, they also felt a lot of pressure. They are all geniuses from all over the world. Some of their pets have potential that is not inferior to them. If they continue to hold an idle mentality, they will be left behind by others. In the next period of time, everyone must work hard to improve their strength, reach the Lord in the shortest time. Okay, in this case, let's start now. That as soon as the voice fell, the Spirit Sword Master and GE Magic Dice turned into starlight and drilled into Luo Yang's body. They each took materials that can increase the speed of cultivation. In the beast control space, the Spirit Sword Master simulated the scene of 10,000 swords facing the master according to his inner thoughts. These spirit swords were dancing quickly, forming a dazzling sword formation. Okay, let's start with swordsmanship this time. First move, sword flowers dancing wildly. As the voice fell, the Spirit Sword Master held the sword with both hands, and a dazzling sword light burst out from his body, and the whole world seemed to be shrouded by the sword shadow. Second move, 1,000 overlapping waves. The Spirit Sword Master swung the sword again, and the tip of the sword seemed to form a vast ocean, and the sea water rushed up and attacked the obstacles automatically generated in the beast control space. Third move. Fourth move. As he continued to perform sword moves, the Spirit Sword Master exuded more and more dazzling sword light, and his figure kept changing positions. Every sword that fell would form a shocking sound, making the world tremble. The power of these moves became stronger and stronger. The Spirit Sword Master's breath became deeper and deeper, and his eyes seemed to be full of infinite power, making people look up. Fifth move. The sword energy in the Spirit Sword Master's body was vented crazily, and he was wrapped in the sword light. The whole person seemed to merge into the long sword in his hand, and his figure was graceful, like a banished immortal. Only around her, dense layers of sword nets emerged, crushing everything. When the spiritual power in her body was exhausted, the Spiritual Sword Master was panting, and she finally stopped attacking. Although the spiritual power in her body was exhausted, she felt extremely transparent. Her understanding of sword skills has increased a little more. After a long breath of turbid air, the Spiritual Sword Master looked into the distance and chuckled. The fifth move, Sword Chi like Rainbow, has already begun to glimpse the way, and more polishing is needed to reach the state of perfection. Then the Spiritual Sword Master began to absorb spiritual energy and break through his own level. According to official records, when the spiritual power is exhausted, absorbing spiritual power will be more conducive to the body's absorption, and the speed of breaking through the level is much faster than normal practice. The Spiritual Sword Master restrained his breath and returned to calmness, sitting cross-legged, absorbing the special energy in the beast control space, the GE Magic Dice. Next to him simulated many seriously injured monsters. He kept casting healing auras to restore the injured monsters to their original state. The casting speed is still not fast enough. The healing effect is not effective. Keep practicing. GE Magic Dice said. The casting speed of the healing aura and the blessing aura must be faster, and the effect must be improved. Every second on the battlefield may determine the outcome. Then GE Magic Dice madly trained his healing and blessing abilities, and constantly increased the skill effects of the healing aura and the blessing aura. The speed must be increased without affecting the effect. Then they consumed all the spiritual power in their bodies and then madly absorbed the energy in the beast control space. This was repeated all the time. Both sides made great progress. Luo Yang was not idle either. He sat cross-legged on the bed and closed his eyes to rest. His mental power was released instantly and enveloped the surroundings. Buzz! A powerful mental power suddenly surged out of his sea of consciousness, and the mental power condensed into substantial ripples, spreading out to the surroundings. These spiritual powers turned into a huge python, madly devouring the spiritual energy of the heaven and earth nearby. Swish! The spiritual powers, like sharp arrows, flew in all directions. Buzz! These spiritual powers were like sharp blades, cutting tiny wounds in the spiritual energy of heaven and earth. In less than 5 minutes, the spiritual energy of heaven and earth around was completely consumed. Luo Yang opened his eyes, a gleam of brilliance flashed in his eyes. The spiritual energy here is really rich, and it is twice the result with half the effort to absorb it. If I continue to practice in such an environment, my achievements will definitely be higher. Luo Yang sighed. The children of the aristocratic family have lived under the aura of the spirit gathering array since childhood, and the elders of the family personally selected the monsters with great potential. Under these conditions, even a pig can take off. What's more, those who have been influenced by the family since childhood have a bright future. Those without background can only strive to catch up, then continue to practice and strive to catch up. No matter how strong he is, I will stand above them sooner or later. Luo Yang said. I have to report to the new class tomorrow, and I am still looking forward to it. As time goes by, I start to practice harder and devote myself to practice. Buzz. Luo Yang's body trembled slightly, and a terrifying energy emanated from his body. Boom! A violent explosion sounded in his mind, as if tens of millions of bombs were constantly exploding. His eyes were closed tightly, and sweat oozed from his forehead. Ha! An hour later, Luo Yang finally stopped practicing. Hualala! The energy in Luo Yang's body began to run wildly, and circles of energy ripples spread out, splashing everywhere, making a crackling sound. Luo Yang opened his eyes, and he felt comfortable all over, as if all the bones in his body were much lighter. Yes, my current physical strength has reached the extraordinary peak, and all aspects of my physical abilities have been greatly improved. I can learn some martial arts to increase my self-protection ability. Luo Yang murmured, if I continue to practice at a normal speed, I will not be able to reach the extraordinary peak in a short time. If it was before, it would be very difficult for me to break through, but now, it has become much easier. The environment is really important. Also, my soul power has increased a lot, twice as much as before, and the distance covered has reached 1,000 meters. Luo Yang was secretly delighted. His efforts during this period were not in vain. Night fell, the sky and the earth were pitch black, and you couldn't see your hand in front of you. Only a few scattered stars revealed a faint light. Chapter 92 Self-Introduction. You are listening at NovelFull.audio. The next morning, the sun was shining. Luo Yang was in good condition, and he looked cheerful and sunny. Ha! As soon as he walked out of the room, Luo Yang took a deep breath of cool air and felt refreshed, as if he had endless energy. Then he walked towards the cafeteria. In the cafeteria, breakfast was very rich. There were ice fish, purple jade chicken, green blood grass soup, qingfeng milk. The smell of the food was fragrant, which aroused Luo Yang's appetite. At this moment, there was only one seat left in the cafeteria. Luo Yang walked over quickly, then pulled out a chair and sat down. He opened his mouth slightly and put the food into his mouth. The food was fragrant and delicious, which made him very intoxicated. Luo Yang sighed. The chef of this academy cooks really delicious food, and these ingredients are all high-level monster meat, which contains a lot of spiritual power. This meal is not cheap if it is placed outside. In his heart, he couldn't help but praise. He had been practicing in Ungshi for so long that he had gotten used to the simple life. Now that he was back in school, everything had changed. Ding! Suddenly, Luo Yang heard a pleasant bell. Luo Yang looked down and found a red bead necklace hanging on the bell. The red bead necklace was inlaid with various gems, which shone brightly under the sunlight. Ding! 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 The bell made a moving melody under the wind. This bell has a calming effect, which can calm people's originally manic mood and restore a peaceful state. Many students like to use it to dispel irritability, and listening to the bell can make them feel happy. After eating, Luo Yang followed the instructions to the area where the new class was located. Luo Yang came to a tall building and looked up. He saw the words freshman class written on it. This building is the classroom of the freshman class. Luo Yang's eyes sparkled with a strange light. Freshman class, here I come. After saying that, he flashed and ran upstairs. Ding! Luo Yang pushed the door and entered the freshman class. Who are you? A female classmate asked. Luo Yang grinned and said, hello, my name is Luo Yang, from Ungshi. Hearing this, the female classmate showed a look of realization. At this time, several other students came in. These people were wearing luxurious clothes, with childish expressions on their faces and excitement in their eyes. These are geniuses from all over the world, without exception. They were specially recruited. Everyone is famous in their respective cities, and it is also a kind of fate to be able to get together. As everyone arrived, a man with glasses walked in. Everyone is quiet. Let me introduce myself. We are Wang Yu, the counselor of the new class. You can call me Teacher Wang or Teacher Yu. Wang Yu introduced. Okay, Teacher Wang Yu. A group of freshmen agreed in unison. Haha, naughty, what a group of lovely children. Wang Yu nodded with satisfaction, and then continued. In the next few days, we have to get to know each other. I will tell you about the rules here first. Everyone listen carefully. As he said, Wang Yu began to introduce the things in the freshman class. He first told the freshmen the basic situation of each class. Qinyun Academy has a total of 10 special training classes. The strength of each class is not too different, but I don't know if there is a gap. After all, I haven't compared it, but the most important point is that our more than 500 freshmen all come from different cities and even different countries in Longua. Everyone has his own unique place, and they all have extremely strong talents and pets. The combat effectiveness is very strong, there is no doubt about this, but you must know that Qinyun Academy is not short of geniuses. What you have to do is to stand out among so many geniuses and become the most dazzling one. Hearing Wang Yu's introduction, the freshmen were very shocked and secretly horrified. At the same time, don't get carried away by your temporary achievements. You should know that it is easy to get good grades, but it is difficult to keep them up. This is what you have to do. These things will also be taught to you in future courses. Wang Yu continued to introduce, our courses are not very boring, so everyone can choose different courses to study. And you must also adapt to the environment here as soon as possible. It won't be long before we start the hell training, and no one can escape. I am still a little thirsty after talking so much. Next, everyone introduce themselves. The teacher will take a break. As he said, Wang Yu motioned for everyone to introduce themselves. Luo Yang sat in the back. He was not impressed by the freshmen, so he didn't say anything, but just stood quietly by the side. My name is Chen Wenlong. I am from the Chen group in Sichuan province, Blue Star. It is one of the world's top 500 companies and has a great reputation throughout the entire Blue Star. I am mainly responsible for the pet industry. My pet is Lei Ling. If you need a pet, you can find me at any time. I will give you a friendly price. Chen Wenlong's words instantly attracted everyone's attention. A few words have already reflected all the key points. Everyone silently remembered Chen Wenlong's name in their hearts. Hello everyone, I am Tanning from Shangjing, please take care of me. I am Zhao Yang from the northeast of Blue Star. Chen Wenlong and others introduced themselves one after another. They have prominent backgrounds and are also very capable. They all come from big families. Moreover, the strength of each of them is very impressive, and they are one of the most popular students among these specially recruited freshmen. Although they come from different places, they all have one thing in common, that is, strong strength. After the introduction, everyone basically got familiar with each other. Next, you can choose your own assistant teacher to assist your courses. Don't worry about any problems or other things. Just concentrate on listening to the class. Wang Yu said with a smile on his face. A new class was born, and his responsibility was also great. Since everyone knows each other, then our class will also select a class monitor to lead everyone and deal with some problems in various aspects later. Through the self-introduction just now, everyone should have a suitable candidate in their hearts. Those who are interested can sign up actively. As a class monitor, there are also many points rewards every semester. Don't miss it. Wang Yu looked at everyone present and said, immediately, the freshmen began to talk among themselves. These geniuses were still very confident in their own abilities. After all, who wouldn't want to soar to the sky at this age? Chapter 94, Immortal Thunder Body. You are listening at NovelFull.audio. How could this happen? Such a terrifying thunder and lightning power. Everyone was shocked, with unbelievable expressions on their faces. This weird wind cat king is not simple. It has powerful attack power, strange wind attributes, and extremely fast speed, but such a pet was defeated in a short time. Such a powerful thunder and lightning power. Wang Yu narrowed his eyes. The weird wind cat king couldn't even resist and was killed instantly. This is too scary. So powerful, that the other students watching the game looked at Lei Ling on the ring, their eyes slightly condensed. He could feel the destructive power of Lei Ling. If this move was replaced by them, they would definitely not be able to stop it. You lose. Chen Wenlong looked at the unconscious weird wind cat king and said indifferently. Then he jumped off the ring, with an extremely calm expression from beginning to end. His strength has long been beyond ordinary people. Compared with him, the strength of this weird wind cat king is quite different, so he naturally defeated the enemy with one move. Feng Haoshuan smiled bitterly, walked to the edge of the ring, put weird wind cat king into the beast control space, and said, I admit defeat. Chen Wenlong waved his hand to show that he didn't mind. Wang Yu walked onto the ring, swept his eyes over everyone, and asked, are there any other students who want to challenge? No matter what the result is, you need to have the spirit of climbing to the top, which is very applicable no matter what stage you have reached. Let me do it. I have heard that Chen Wenlong's thunder spirit is invincible, and my pet beast also wants to see it. Yang Yufei nodded gently, stepped onto the ring, and came to Chen Wenlong's side. What a beautiful girl. Looking at Yang Yufei on the ring, everyone couldn't help but admire her. Yang Yufei was so beautiful, with a faint smile on her delicate face, and a curvy figure, hot and attractive. She wore a black corseted long skirt, outlining her graceful body, and her slender and white calves wrapped in black silk looked extremely attractive, making the male students drool. Her appearance caused a commotion, and many male students' eyes lit up. Chen Wenlong, you have to show mercy, otherwise I will be in danger tonight. Yang Yufei smiled lightly, her tone was numb and charming, stirring the male hormones. Chen Wenlong grinned and said, Student Yang, you are too flattering me. A beautiful woman like you with an extraordinary background, how could you be afraid of a mere thunder spirit like me? Hearing this, Yang Yufei raised her eyebrows slightly, and her eyes flashed with cunning. Okay, let's start. Yang Yufei said. Well, I'll do my best. Chen Wenlong nodded. As soon as the voice fell, Yang Yufei summoned her pet, which was a furry fox. The fox was silver-gray all over, emitting a faint fluorescence, and its pupils were dark and deep, as dazzling as two gems. It's the fantasy sky fox. Chen Wenlong recognized Yang Yufei's pet. It is said that the bloodline of the fantasy sky fox is extremely high, and what is even more terrifying is that it can perform mental magic, which makes people unable to defend against it. The so-called mental magic is to use mental power to influence the minds of others, thereby controlling the enemy, making the enemy fall into a chaotic state and let oneself slaughter. The most terrifying thing is that it can inadvertently pull the opponent into a fantasy and make them unable to extricate themselves. Of course, this kind of magic is extremely domineering and powerful, but not everyone can master it. Only special types of monsters can do it. Lei Ling, go and teach her a lesson for me. Yang Yufei commanded. Roar! Lei Ling roared, shaking the sky, as if it was as harsh as thunder, which made everyone tremble with fear. Swish! Immediately, Lei Ling flew into the sky and turned into a flash of lightning to sweep towards the fantasy sky fox. With a surging momentum, like a surging ocean, Lei Ling opened his huge claws and slapped it, with amazing power, as if he could tear the void. Boom! The claws of the thunder spirit fell and hit the fantasy fox heavily, making a shocking collision sound. The aftermath rippled around, causing the ring to shake violently, and the gravel flew across the ring. The entire ring seemed to be overturned. Hiss! Everyone saw this scene and couldn't help but take a breath of cold air. This power was too terrible. Under the ring, Yang Yufei frowned and said inwardly, what a powerful thunder spirit, the power of thunder is too overbearing. Awoo! The fantasy fox raised its head and howled sadly, its fur stood up, and its eyes were filled with scarlet murderous aura, as if it was out of control. Fantasy mirror image, Yang Yufei shouted in a low voice, and suddenly a silver round mirror appeared in front of her, with silver ripples in the mirror, and an invisible pressure swept out. Buzz, suddenly, the aura of the fantasy fox surged, and the whole body burst into silver light. The enchanting and charming posture became solemn and full of holy aura. Under the astonished gazes of the crowd, the fantasy sky fox released a series of brilliant lights, covering Lei Ling. Then, Lei Ling seemed to fall into a vortex of illusion, trembling all over, his eyes blurred. What a powerful mirror skill, it can actually affect other people's minds. Wang Yu frowned, his eyes flashing with cold light. The fantasy sky mirror is indeed good, but it is rarely used. This Yang Yufei is really well hidden, and she actually has such a trump card. Everyone was talking about it. The fantasy sky fox had already set up an illusion around Lei Ling, and every move could attract the mind and affect the enemy's mind. Fantasy sky mirror, suppress, the fantasy sky fox shouted lightly, and a silver light shot out, instantly wrapping around Lei Ling. Bang! Lei Ling knelt on his knees, his whole body stiff, his arms hanging on both sides of his shoulders, completely unable to move. This is bad, Lei Ling is doomed to lose. Yang Yufei's move is too vicious, this is going to destroy Lei Ling. Everyone's face suddenly changed, feeling sorry for Chen Wenlong. Humph, your Lei Ling can't break my fantasy sky mirror at all. Yang Yufei sneered. Don't be happy too early. Chen Wenlong sneered. What? Do you think your Lei Ling can break the fantasy sky mirror? Yang Yufei sneered, the fantasy sky mirror is an epic skill with powerful power. Immortal thunder body. Chen Wenlong said in a deep voice. Swish, in an instant, Lei Ling's body burst into rich purple lightning, and crackling sounds continued. Boom, in an instant, thunder rolled, lightning flashed, and the momentum was terrifying. What kind of skill is this? It can actually burst out such a powerful thunder and lightning force. Yang Yufei frowned slightly, her heart palpitating. Thunder spirit, kill. Chen Wenlong shouted. As soon as the voice fell, Chen Wenlong suddenly jumped up and rushed towards the phantom fox with the power of destroying the world. Boom, in an instant, Chen Wenlong and the phantom fox confronted each other head-on, and the violent and terrifying power raged in all directions, making people tremble. Crack, under the fierce attack, the phantom fox was beaten back more than 10 meters and was injured in many places. Such a strong thunder and lightning, it deserves to be ranked in the top 3 among many attributes. Chapter 95 The Battlefield of 10,000 Races. You are listening at NovelFull.audio. Is Huantianhu okay? I don't think Lei Ling may have taken advantage. Seeing Huantianhu being injured, everyone was surprised again. Roar. Bang, Lei Ling roared angrily, stretched out his claws, and struck out several purple thunder arcs as fast as lightning. With overwhelming momentum, he attacked Huantian Fox crazily. Bang bang bang, a series of collision sounds rang out in the square, deafening and painful to the eardrums. Boom, suddenly, Huantianhu seized the opportunity and quickly counterattacked, punching Lei Ling on the head and knocking him back 100 meters. Huan Tian Seal, Huantianhu worked hard and gathered huge power to create a strange symbol. Not good. Lei Ling's expression suddenly changed, and the power of thousands of thunders burst out from his body, converging on his right claw, and slashed out with a devastating momentum, trying to block the symbol. However, what surprised Lei Ling was that this symbol was very strange and contained powerful sealing power, which directly disrupted Lei Ling's offensive. Chi-chi, in the blink of an eye, Lei Ling's arm was sealed, making it difficult to move at all. Is Lei Ling about to be defeated? Everyone sighed. However, at the moment when everyone was stunned, Lei Ling spit out a mouthful of blood, his body suddenly broke free from the restraints, and then charged towards Huantian Fox with great ferocity. All this happened so fast that before everyone could even react, they saw Lei Ling pounce on Huantian Fox. Lock the heaven and the magic earth. Yang Yufei's expression suddenly changed. I saw a silver barrier shield appearing next to Huantianhu. However, the power of Lei Ling's claw blade was so terrifying that it actually tore through the barrier shield of the magic sky mirror. A ferocious claw mark appeared on Huantian Fox's body, dripping with blood, which was shocking. Hiss. Everyone gasped. Although Huantianhu's defense was astonishing, it still couldn't resist Lei Ling's fatal claw. Just with that claw, Lei Ling was enough to prove how powerful it was. Lei Ling actually broke through the heaven and earth. This guy's claw blade actually has the penetrating power to tear apart space. It's so scary, that everyone exclaimed. Next, Lei Ling gathered his strength and launched a fierce offensive against Huantianhu. Bang bang bang. Lei Ling's attack was very fierce, and each claw blade could cause considerable damage. Huantianhu was unable to fight back and could only be beaten. It's time to end. Lei Ling whispered. The power of thunder in the body was activated, and immediately gathered in the claw blade, emitting an even more dazzling purple light, like a purple sun. Go to hell. Lei Ling suddenly swung his claws and swept towards Huantian Fox's abdomen fiercely. Call out. Buzz. The purple blade cut through the sky, and a harsh sonic boom sounded. Huantianhu couldn't avoid it, leaving a ferocious claw mark on his chest and blood splattering. Roar. After suffering a heavy blow, Huantianhu screamed and flew out in pain. Seeing this scene, the hearts of everyone present were in suspense. Boom. Bang. Huantianhu flew a few meters away, fell heavily under the ring, and passed out on the spot. Lei Ling won this battle. The battle between the two sides was extremely exciting, but it was Chen Wenlong who stood at the end. Since everyone has no objections, Chen Wenlong will be the squad leader of our special training class and be responsible for managing all the affairs of the class. I hope everyone will work together and work hard to improve their levels and become a powerful beast master. Wang Yu was satisfied. He smiled and then walked off the stage. Wow, the whole place was filled with cheers and shouts. Congratulations to Wenlong for becoming the monitor of the special training class. Congratulations, monitor. Congratulations, monitor. A group of students congratulated and blessed him one after another. Thank you, classmates. From today on, everyone will work hard to practice with me. Chen Wenlong smiled happily. Lei Ling, well done. Chen Wenlong patted Lei Ling on the head. Lei Ling shook his head and grinned. Seeing how close and friendly Chen Wenlong and Lei Ling were, Yang Yufei felt that she had not lost unfairly. Luo Yang watched the whole game and couldn't help but shook his head and sighed. Qingyun Academy is really a crouching tiger, hidden dragon. The strength of this Chen Wenlong cannot be underestimated. I am afraid that the second pet beast is not simple either. As expected, he has a super background and will be more magnanimous in the future. Compared with other people grow up faster. Luo Yang knew very well how powerful Lei Ling was, but he could easily defeat Huantian Fox. It could be said to be ridiculously powerful and should not be taken lightly. This will be challenging. Luo Yang is looking forward to the coming days. Finished selecting squad leader. No one disagreed. This physical work is still left to Chen Wenlong. The next step is to participate in actual combat, because Qingyun Academy is responsible for guarding the battlefield of all races. Therefore, it has become every student's task to kill all races. In fact, in recent years, major forces and schools have sent their disciples to the battlefields of all races to gain experience. The battlefield of all races has existed for a long time, and it is not on the same level as the secret realms we usually see. The gap between the two sides is like a ravine. There are many monsters on the battlefield of all races, and there are even terrible disaster-level monsters, but these are all watched by the strong men of the academy and will not act rashly at all. Therefore, the battlefield of all races is very chaotic. Fighting for resources can be seen everywhere, and the mortality rate is very high, but relatively speaking, it is also the most suitable place to hone your character. Only by experiencing a battlefield of thousands of races can you understand yourself more clearly. It is also a compulsory course for every Qingyun student. Those who come to Qingyun Academy are basically prepared to fight against the 10,000 races, therefore, no one is afraid, but extremely looking forward to it. there are all kinds of monsters everywhere in the 10,000 races battlefield, and you can see many strange and unheard of things in it. There are many students who die in the 10,000 races battlefield every year in Qingyun Academy. After all, entering it for training requires adventure, and the mortality rate is very high. If you are not careful, you may lose your life. However, those who can survive are all elite disciples without exception. The 10,000 races battlefield is dangerous, but it has great value, attracting countless people to enter it to search for treasures. The first lesson of their freshman training is to go to the 10,000 races battlefield to fight monsters. All students in the special training class are like this. The 10,000 races battlefield is located in the southwest of Jinling. The 10,000 races battlefield is a vast and boundless wilderness with countless passages connecting monster nests all over the world. This is the fighting field between humans and monsters, full of violent, bloodthirsty, and bloody killing atmosphere. The wilderness was always filled with thick blood mist, giving people a creepy feeling of depression. The roar of monsters came from the end of the wilderness, which sounded very scary and made people feel trembling. Once you enter the battlefield of all races, life and death no longer belong to you. Entering the battlefield to hunt monsters is a life and death struggle, and you will never stop until you die. The battlefield of all races is the most dangerous place in Qingyun Academy. After you enter, you must be careful. Wang Yu warned. Teacher, don't worry, we will be careful. Chen Wenlong nodded. Chapter 96 The War Begins. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Let's go. The voice fell. Swish, swish, swish. As soon as the voice fell, everyone spread out and rushed towards the wilderness. In the wilderness, thick blood mist was everywhere, blocking the vision and making it impossible to identify the specific location. They summoned beasts and looked around the surrounding environment. In the battlefield of all races, somewhere in the mountains. Boom! A towering volcano suddenly erupted, and the deafening explosion spread among the mountains and forests. An extremely terrifying air wave swept out with the momentum of destroying withered and rotten. Swoosh! 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 One after another, ferocious monsters flew out of the volcano, like prehistoric beasts rushing out of the cage, releasing ferocious evil spirits. Hiss! Cry! From the crater, a huge fire python and two huge monsters flew out one after another, which were the flaming demon ape and the flaming poisonous spider. Gulyalu! The flaming demon ape and the flame poisonous spider spit out scarlet tongues, and their eyes with a cold luster flashed with fierce and bloodthirsty eyes. Roar! Suddenly, the two huge monsters roared to the sky, and a violent wind raged. Swish swish swish! The next moment, the flaming demon ape stomped on the ground with all four limbs, and rushed forward with a roar that shook the world. The speed of the flaming demon ape was as fast as lightning, and it disappeared at the end of the wilderness in the blink of an eye. Boom boom boom. Bang bang bang. Ah ah ah. The flaming demon ape rushed all the way, turning all the trees into ruins wherever it passed, ruthlessly destroying everything it encountered along the way, invincible and unstoppable. Swish swish swish. A layer of red armor condensed on the surface of the flaming demon ape's body, and it was extremely fierce and domineering. Behind it was a dense group of monsters. Roar, roar, roar. Not long after the flaming demon ape rushed out, there were bursts of roars and angry roars from demon beasts around. Then countless demons attacked the human race, and the two sides started a fierce fight. Roar! The flaming demon ape roared, swung up the giant axe and chopped, containing terrifying divine power. Wherever it passed, towering trees collapsed and shattered. The flaming demon ape waved its fists, glared at the human race, and attacked frantically. Roar! The flame poisonous spider opened its mouth full of poisonous teeth, made a sharp and piercing hiss, and sprayed venom. The jet-black venom fell like a torrential rain, instantly covering the surrounding area of hundreds of meters, ruthlessly corroding and frightening. Bang, bang, bang. Puff! The human race's defense was fragile, even wearing protective gear could not resist the attack of the demon race, and was corroded into a pool of blood on the spot by the venom. Although the defense of the demon race is weak, it does not mean that they are made of paper. The demon race also has strong combat power. It's just that compared with the human race, they lack wisdom. Sizzle. Wherever the venom reaches, both trees and rocks are corroded and melted, turning into pools of black water. Kill. The demon beasts roared and rushed towards the human race. Hulala. The demon beasts have different shapes, some are humanoid, and some look like demon beasts, exuding a powerful breath and rushing over. Kill. Roar. In the crowd, earth-shaking roars broke out, and men and women in green clothes took action one after another. In an instant, huge monsters appeared in the sky, exuding terrifying pressure. These are all seniors of Qingyun Academy, with murderous auras and indifferent eyes. Buzz buzz buzz. A giant bird with thunder wrapped all over its body soared into the sky, flapped its wings, and set off a terrifying thunder force that swept in all directions. Ong. Roar. On the other side, a huge elephant with long wings on its back, a single horn on its head, and a mighty imposing figure appeared in the void. Roar roar roar. The next second, 5 or 6 more terrifying monsters appeared, all of which were terrifying beings with powerful strength. Boom boom. Crackle. Swish, swish, swish. In an instant, the monsters collided with the human race, and suddenly a shocking and terrifying loud noise broke out, and waves of fierce and violent power raged, destroying everything. The whole world seemed to be in doomsday, dim and lightless, and everything became gray. Gusts of raging winds raged, destroying a large amount of vegetation. The offensive of the human race completely suppressed the monsters. Bang, bang, bang. Puff. Then, the human race students, who were terrifyingly powerful, fought against the monsters, and a series of dull sounds broke out. Blood splattered, and the monsters were injured and screamed. Kacha. Hualala. A human cultivator swung his sword and chopped down. The extremely sharp sword light tore through the air, making a piercing sound, and slashed fiercely at the head of a monster. Sizzle. The monster's face suddenly changed, and it quickly dodged, barely avoiding the fatal blow. Luo Yang and a group of classmates were responsible for clearing the monsters on the right wing. The levels of the monsters here were all similar to theirs, and there would be no powerful monsters. It was completely suitable for training. The Spirit Sword Master and the Lucky Magic Dice were on the side to protect Luo Yang. The pets of other classmates had already surrounded him, waiting for an opportunity to attack. The theme of this assessment was hunting monsters. Hunting more monsters and accumulating enough points would win. Kill. Boom boom boom. Buzz. The human college students and the monsters were fighting in chaos, with all kinds of energy raging and rolling, and the scene was very spectacular. For a moment, shouts of death, wails, and screams resounded throughout the sky, which was terrifying. This place is like purgatory, where humans and monsters fight to the death. This is the true meaning of experience. If you want to obtain resources, you must rely on yourself. There is no alternative. Whoosh whoosh. Pft. Hiss. With the light and shadow of swords, sharp weapons pierced through the body of the monster, and blood overflowed, dyeing the earth red. Humans and monsters are devouring each other. It's terrible to see. Roar. An earth-shattering roar came from deep in the forest, resounding in all directions. Boom. Immediately, a large number of monsters swarmed in, filled with ferocious aura and murderous intent. More and more demonic beasts emerged from the demonic beasts' lair, and some demonic beasts even rushed towards them by stepping on the void. The densely packed monster beasts cover the sky, and the scene is shocking. You can't see the end at a glance, and you can't see clearly how many these monsters there are. Oops. We're surrounded. A human disciple exclaimed. Kill. Luo Yang and others' eyes were about to burst. Their eyes were red, and they rushed out without hesitation with murderous intent. Boom. Suddenly, the sound of fierce fighting resounded throughout the world. Kill. Kill them all. Ouch. Jia jia jia. Kill. The human students and the monsters were fighting. The smell of blood, the strong smell of blood, made people sick and nauseous. This scene is so bloody, it's like Shura hell. Ho ho ho. Hiss. Humans and monsters intertwined crazily, and various terrifying powers were released, bursting the air and destroying large tracts of plants. This is the cruelest fight. Kill them all, kill them all. The human students shouted wildly. Chapter 98 Overlord Dragon King. You are listening at NovelFull.audio. Possessing the rich blood of the Wind Dragon clan, with the strength of the Monarch realm, he has a good reputation in the battlefield of all races. Name, Wind Dragon. Attribute, Wind. Features, Flying in the Clouds. Level, LV63, Monarch level. Potential, LV67, Monarch level. Racial skills, 1, Wind Tornado, 932/5000, Mastery, 2. Cutting Wind Blade, 1523/5000, Mastery. Evolutionary Route, 2, Roar. The Dragon King Forest Overlord roared to the sky, and his huge body swirled up, covering the sunlight. A pair of scarlet eyes filled with bloodthirstiness and evil stared at everyone. Not good. Retreat. Luo Yang shouted anxiously. Swoosh. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. Hearing Luo Yang's warning, everyone dared not stay, and they all used their skills to escape from here. Humph. Since you have chosen to enter the battlefield of all races, don't even think about walking out alive. The Overlord of the Dragon Emperor Forest sneered jokingly. Swish. Boom. Buzz buzz buzz. The Overlord of the Dragon Emperor Forest opened his bloody mouth and sprayed out terrifying blue energy balls. Hundreds of blue energy balls swept over. In the blink of an eye, hundreds of energy balls fell down. Bang bang bang. Puff. Amid the screams of the crowd, the energy balls exploded on the ground, raising huge dust. Boom boom boom. Puff puff puff. The terrifying power blew the crowd to spit blood and flew backwards. Extremely embarrassed and unable to resist, hundreds of students were all blown away. The scene was very chaotic. The terrifying combat power of the Overlord of the Dragon Emperor Forest was deeply feared. They broke through the defense line of the seniors in front and came to the back. A Lord-level monster was a devastating blow to them, let alone the Monarch. Every move can tear the space apart. Damn! This guy is so strong. Luo Yang's face was gloomy. The move just now almost killed him, but fortunately he used the speeding talisman to dodge. The feeling of having your life in the hands of others really makes you scared. However, he only had the last 3 speeding talismans left. If he was hit a few more times, he might not be able to hold on. What should I do? Luo Yang's face was very ugly. Ouch. At this time, other Monarch-level masters of the Academy sensed the breath of the Dragon King Forest Overlord and rushed to support. Human race. The Dragon King Forest Overlord stood in the void, looking down at the Monarch-level monsters who came to support. There were 3 Monarch-level monsters coming to support, each of which had a very strong breath, which was awe-inspiring. The breath of this monster is very powerful, no less than that of our human monarchs. Yes. It is worthy of being a dragon race, and it can release a pressure comparable to the peak of the monarch. The 3 teachers looked serious, and they were secretly afraid in their hearts. Roar. The Dragon King Forest Overlord roared, and a pair of huge scarlet eyes swept towards everyone, extremely ferocious. Teachers, join forces to kill it. A middle-aged man said indifferently, taking the lead in attacking, swinging his sword and slashing. The other 2 teachers looked at each other and then attacked. In an instant, the 3 teachers launched a fierce attack. Buzz buzz buzz. For a moment, 3 Monarch-level pets tore through the space, staring fiercely at the Dragon King Forest Overlord with the blood of the Wind Dragon. The Dragon King Forest Overlord grinned, fearless. Roar. A loud dragon roar suddenly resounded through the world, and the Dragon King Forest Overlord jumped out at an incredibly fast speed. Swish swish swish. In the blink of an eye, the Dragon King Forest Overlord fought with the 3 monarchs. What a strong power! A middle-aged man was surprised. The Dragon King Forest Overlord can easily resist the joint attack of all of us. This kind of strength is enough for the monarch to dominate. The Dragon King Forest Overlord is really powerful. Another middle-aged man exclaimed. The fighting power of the Dragon King Forest Overlord is too amazing. The opponent's terrifying power is far beyond their imagination, especially the Dragon King Forest Overlord's terrible defense and recovery ability, which is simply terrifying. Swish, swish, swish. Boom, boom. Bang, bang, bang. In the fierce collision, the three mentors were completely helpless against the Dragon King Forest Overlord. Ha! You rubbish. You can't break my defense at all. You humans, all have to die. I'm going to eat you. The Dragon King Forest Overlord roared wildly, extremely excited, and seemed not to regard the three monarch-level pets as enemies. Boom boom boom. Ah! Puff puff puff. The Dragon King Forest Overlord's offensive became more and more fierce and violent. With each punch and claw, he would definitely take away several lives, and many people were killed. The terrifying combat power of the Dragon King Forest Overlord has far exceeded everyone's cognition. In particular, he also has the blood of the Wind Dragon, and his combat power is extremely strong. The wind blades danced wildly in the sky, which was brutal and terrifying. In just 2 hours, countless people were killed and injured. The ferocity and cruelty of the Dragon King Forest Overlord deeply shocked everyone. This beast's defense is simply abnormal. Even our full-strength attack can't shake it. A teacher frowned and cursed. No. If we continue to fight, our consumption will be too great, and sooner or later we will be gradually devoured by this beast. Another teacher said solemnly. A female instructor solemnly said, yes, if we delay it any longer, we will definitely lose. This beast's physical defense is too strong, we can only outsmart it, otherwise we will become its meal. I have a solution. Suddenly a mentor flew up in a flash, with a ferocious smile on his face. Do you have any idea? Everyone asked. The Dragon King Forest is the domain of monsters. Its weakness is the dragon scale. Let's attack the reverse scale. As long as we find the right opportunity, I guarantee that I can kill this beast. The instructor vowed. Annihilate. Everyone frowned slightly. The overlord of the Dragon King Forest has dragon scales, and its weakness is the reverse scale. The female instructor added, her eyes narrowed with a cold light. Teacher Lin Meng is right, the Dragon King Forest Overlord has reverse scales. As long as he finds the position and takes advantage of his unpreparedness, he can kill him with one strike. A tutor said solemnly. Teacher Lin Meng, what should we do now? A tutor asked in a deep voice. The position of the dragon scale is under the left chest. Lin Meng pointed to the right and said solemnly, you two attack from the flanks, and I will contain it from the front. Remember? Understood. The three instructors nodded at the same time and then changed their positions. Ho ho ho. Upon seeing this, the Dragon King Forest Overlord looked up to the sky and roared, his huge body quickly swam and sprinted towards the left front. Boo-hoo! Lin Meng quickly dodged and followed him, chasing after him without giving the Dragon King Forest Overlord any chance to breathe. Humph! A mere human ant, trying to stop me? What a fool's errand! Said the Dragon King Forest Overlord with disdain. Boom! Bang bang bang, the Wind Dragon Emperor's body continued to expand. In an instant, his size soared to 1,000 feet. The ferocious aura swept across like a flood. The terrifying pressure made everyone tremble with fear, and their faces were full of horror. What a strong aura! A strong omen of danger arose in Lin Meng's heart, his heart beat faster, and he felt as if he had fallen into a 10,000-meter ice cave. Chapter 100, Dragon Soul Saint. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Feng Wuchen. The Wind Dragon Emperor roared in anger, his eyes locked with extreme hatred. Swish, 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 the six-winged golden rock spread its wings and flew, like a golden meteor. Every time it flew, it increased its speed by dozens of times, so fast that it was impossible for the naked eye to catch it. Boom! Puff! Feng Wuchen flicked his finger, and 3 silver needles shot out, instantly piercing through the 3 acupuncture points of the Wind Dragon Emperor, and injected terrifying power, causing the Wind Dragon Emperor's wounds to spread rapidly, blood spurting out, and finally with a bang, the dragon's body was blown apart. The Wind Dragon Emperor's body suddenly became riddled with holes, And his injuries were extremely serious. Swish, swish, swish. Feng Wuchen quickly made hand gestures with both hands, and golden runes flew out, covering the Wind Dragon Emperor's wounds, and then turned into mysterious and complex patterns, covering the whole body of the Wind Dragon Emperor. Dragon Rune Technique. Seeing those mysterious runes, the Wind Dragon Emperor's face suddenly changed, and he was so scared that he trembled all over. This skill can be said to be the nemesis of the dragon race. It can suppress the body and wipe out the soul, without even the chance of reincarnation. The most important thing is that this skill is 200% powerful against the dragon race. Even the orthodox dragon race was terrified. This is the Dragon Rune Technique. Feng Wuchen. I have no grudges against you, why do you hold me? The Wind Dragon Emperor asked in a voice transmission. No grudges? Feng Wuchen's cold face showed an evil arc, and he said coldly, since the myriad races dare to invade the Blue Star, they must be prepared for the fate of death. Six-winged golden peng, deal with it. Feng Wuchen said indifferently. Chiu. The six-winged golden peng let out a long cry, then swooped down, opened its bloody mouth and bit off the Wind Dragon Emperor's neck, and swallowed it directly. This beast really tastes wonderful. The Overlord of the Dragon King Forest, the taste is indeed several levels higher than other monsters. The six-winged golden rock licked the corner of his mouth while absorbing the essence of the Wind Dragon King, his eyes fierce. Feng Wuchen glanced at Luo Yang and others indifferently, turned around and disappeared under the night sky, continued to kill the monsters deep in the 10,000 races. Luo Yang and others came to their senses and hurriedly cleaned up the monster corpses on the right wing of the 10,000 races battlefield. While cleaning, they were thankful. Fortunately, Feng Wuchen arrived in time just now, otherwise we would be really miserable. Don't criticize, let's talk about it after cleaning up the 10,000 races. One person suggested. At this time, the 10,000 races battlefield was full of monster corpses, and the blood had dyed the entire battlefield red, and the scene was shocking. Swish, swish, swish. Chi, swish, swish. After a while, 12 figures flew over quickly, and they were the 12 deans of Qingyun Academy. Where is Brother Feng? Ling Xiaoxiao asked worriedly. Let's go find Brother Feng first. Don't look for him. Brother Feng must have left. The people of Dragon Soul should know where he went. Lu Qingyang guessed. Dragon Soul. Ling Xiaoxiao's pretty face lit up, and she immediately sent a message to Dragon Soul, asking about Feng Wuchen's whereabouts. After receiving the news, Dragon Soul immediately sent people to investigate. Other instructors of Qingyun Academy began to quickly clean up the battlefield. At this time, the strong men of all races were surrounded by the instructors of the academy. A group of students were responsible for cleaning up. Luo Yang continued to harvest monsters, and the sound of experience increase was endless. The growth progress of Luo Yang's pets, the Spirit Sword Master and the GE Magic Dice, was also growing rapidly. This is the benefit brought by the battlefield of all races. The more dangerous, the more beneficial it is. It is a kind of experience for pets. The level also climbed several levels all the way to reach level 36, and after a battle, it rose several levels in a row. The sword intent in the Spirit Sword Master's body became more and more majestic, and the momentum became more and more powerful. Swish, swish, swish. The sky was full of sword blades harvesting crazily, and the ground was covered with dense corpses of monsters. The GE Magic Dice was also constantly assisting. It took 3 hours in the end. It was only then that the battlefield of all races was calmed down, and all the monsters retreated to their respective habitats. At this time, the instructors of each class were counting the number of students to see how many students had died. Report to the dean. A total of 79 students died, 18 of whom were college instructors. One person reported respectfully. Hearing this, both the dean and the vice dean fell into grief. Alas, another group of new students died. Alas, I really hope that there will be no more tragedies like this. I hope so. The students sighed one after another, their faces full of grief. Dean, Vice Dean, Feng Wuchen killed the Wind Dragon Emperor. A teacher suddenly flashed into the hall to report the situation. Dean, Feng Wuchen killed the Wind Dragon Emperor, what should we do now? One person asked hurriedly, looking at the body of the Wind Dragon Emperor with horror on his face. Other students who didn't know the situation were even more stunned. Looking at the huge dragon corpse, the scene was also extremely shocking. The Wind Dragon Emperor is the top monarch of the Dragon Clan. Feng Wuchen actually killed him. The Dragon Clan will not let him go. Moreover, his father is the Orthodox of the Dragon Clan, with the strength of the disaster level, and has a transcendent status in the Dragon Clan. Although the Wind Dragon Emperor is just an inconspicuous illegitimate child, in order to maintain the dignity of the Dragon Clan, they will definitely not let Feng Wuchen go. The strength of the Dragon Clan is too terrifying. Feng Wuchen may not be able to defeat him, and the Dragon Soul Temple may not be able to protect him. The news that Feng Wuchen killed the Wind Dragon Emperor soon spread to various forces and schools, causing an uproar. Dragon Soul Headquarters. What? The Dragon Soul Saint killed the Wind Dragon Emperor? Long Xiaofeng suddenly jumped up from the chair, and he couldn't believe his ears. Feng Wuchen actually has such a terrifying cultivation level. When did such a powerful person come into being in the Dragon Soul? Yang Xilan asked dully. Long Qingtian frowned deeply and said, I didn't expect that after just half a year, he has become so tyrannical. Although Feng Long Emperor's cultivation is not as good as ours, it is not far behind. Feng Wuchen's strength has improved so quickly. Which is incredible. Long Xiaoyu, have you ever seen Feng Wuchen with your own eyes? Long Nitian asked, his pale old face extremely gloomy. I would like to see him with my own eyes, but unfortunately I have no chance. His strength is very terrifying, and we can't do anything to him if we work together. Long Xiaoyu said solemnly. Dad, do you know Feng Wuchen? Long Xiaoyu asked doubtfully. Dragon Soul Saint Feng Wuchen, a direct descendant of the Feng family in Beifeng City, can also be regarded as the Dragon Soul Elder. Long Xiaofeng said with a smile. A direct descendant of the Feng family? Long Xiaoyu frowned slightly, seeming to remember something, and whispered, so that's it, Feng Wuchen is Feng Hao's son, and their Feng family's totem sacred beast is the six-winged golden roc, which is similar to the Dragon Clans. With the existence of immortality, both races feed on each other. No wonder he killed the Feng Dragon Emperor. He is a direct descendant of the Feng family and the #1 force in Beifeng City. Feng Wuchen has such terrifying power, how can the Feng family tolerate him being chased by the Dragon Clan? Long Qingtian guessed, his pale old face became more serious, and he had obviously guessed the outcome.